Hey everybody. Today I'm going to talk about a client that I met with a few months back and the conversation that we had. And through that story, I am going to illustrate for you the most important, in fact, I would say the only important thing that you need to know about good parenting. Everything else is just noise, okay? So I meet with this client. We've been working together for over a year now. She is an awesome mom. She's in my group coaching program, which is a lifetime program, which is why we get to meet so frequently and over such a long period of time. And what she brought to our coaching call was concern that she had for her daughter. Her daughter's always been an introvert. She describes her as a homebody, doesn't want to go over to friends' houses or have friends over to her house, doesn't want to do different activities at school. She doesn't like to try new things. And this mom said, I think I really need to force her to socialize. I need to force her to go over to other people's houses, to have people over at our house. And I need to force her to do some extracurricular stuff and join in more at school and stuff like that. Because otherwise, I'm really afraid that she's going to struggle with depression and confidence her whole life. And I think that by forcing her to do these things, she's going to be more confident and find things she wants to do outside of the house and all that stuff. And we had this whole conversation about this one most important thing you need to know about parenting. And through that, she realized that her plan was not going to work. So her plan was, I'm afraid for my daughter. I'm going to try to control this situation. And by controlling the situation, my daughter will do and be the things that I want her to be. And I won't feel scared anymore. And my daughter will be okay. And everything's going to be great. We had this conversation that was like, what's your motivator? What's the ultimate motivator behind this plan that you're creating? And she said, fear. I mean, I'm synopsizing. We obviously had a series of back and forth discussion questions, but in the end, she realized fear is my motivator here. And so when she realized that, she started thinking, like, you know what, when I make choices out of fear, it doesn't usually end well. What should I do instead? So trying to control my kid, trying to force her to do stuff, that's probably not the right answer. The ego loves to tell us that control will solve fear, and it never works. And it really blinds us from what is, once again, have I teased it enough? The most important thing you need to know about good parenting, which is the most important, the number one protective factor in your child's life is at least one healthy attachment to a parental figure. And what we need to allow our kids to form that attachment is we need to attune to our kids. When we are afraid, when our ego's in the driver's seat, when we're trying to control a situation, we are totally blinded and blocked. And that means that our kids can't attach to us because we can't attune to them. We don't see them clearly for who they are. We don't see the situation clearly for what it is. And so the version of ourselves that is showing up with our kids is not authentic, it's not real, and it's engaging with a mental phantom, which is our fear about the future, instead of engaging with our actual child, the human magical creature who's sitting right in front of our eyes. So this is the most important thing. The most important thing. Everything else is nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your kid gets good grades. It doesn't matter if they go to college. It doesn't matter if they learn a foreign language. It doesn't even matter if they have tons of friends or get invited to the birthday party or any of that stuff. The number one thing, the most important thing you can do for your kiddo is to attune to them and let them attach to you. That's it. It is so simple, but it is challenging because in order for us to be that thing they can attach to and for us to attune to them, we have to overcome that egoic fear and need for control. So the chain reaction here is releasing fear, which allows us to attune to our child, which allows our child to attach to us, and that's it. That is the beautiful poetry and symmetry of an awesome parenting situation and a great parent-child relationship. And when we talked about this, after a while in this session, this mom literally said to me, I wrote it down because I wanted to tell it to you verbatim. This is what she said. She said, screw the ego. I have my answer. And knowing this thing about attachment and attunement is enough for me to say, this is why I do this. This is why I open up to my child. This is why I stop being defensive. And this is why I do the work to show up authentically with my kid. And I was like, oh, the message is getting through. This is amazing. I'm so happy for this mom. And I want to tell you, this is exactly the core of every single parenting thing you'll ever do, whether it's working with me or a different parenting expert or reading a book about child psychology or development or discipline. Everything comes back to this nugget, and it's so core, it's so fundamental that it is the little seed that I used to grow all of the programming for the Awaken the Wise Mama retreat. It is why the retreat is called the Awaken the Wise Mama retreat, because we all do have that intuition inside us. We have that wise mama inside us, and all we need to do is release that stuff getting in the way, and all of a sudden attunement happens naturally, and attachment happens naturally and healthily. Clarity happens about what to do for our kids, and instead of trying to control this little kiddo and tell her, you need to have friends over, you're going to so and so's house, you need to join this thing, I signed you up for that. What this mama came up with instead, when we got her into that like authentic place, was, I think I need to be curious. I need to ask questions of my daughter. I want to be open and vulnerable with her. I want to have accountability. These are all things that this mama came up with on her own once that fear wasn't in the driver's seat, once she was able to release that. So, if you are ready for that kind of transformation for yourself, if you are ready to strip all the other nonsense away and let it go and just focus on this one thing that's simple but challenging, I want you to come with me. This October, there are 2 spots left in the Awaken the Wise Mama retreat, and it is going to be profound. Everything we do, the fun stuff, the relaxing stuff, the connecting with friends, the meditation beside the lake, the trip to the winery, the morning parenting circles, everything is stemming from this place of releasing fear, releasing all that heaviness, and letting your amazing, beautiful, wise mama shine forth, and taking that version of yourself home to parent in this attuned way with your kiddo, so that all those other pieces fall into place. I can't wait to see you on my doorstep in October. If you're interested, check out the information in this video description and let me know that you're interested. I will do everything in my power to make it possible for you to join us. Payment plans, all special situations. I will do my absolute best. I tie myself in knots to accommodate you, because what I really want is for every mom who possibly can to get this amazing goodness in their life. Okay, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you take this little nugget with you and think about it when you're showing up with your kiddo later today, all week long, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.